Hello, my name is Michael Ramos, and I have been in the real estate world for, my entire life. My family and I have done it all and seen more from real estate sales, construction, and property inspections. And in all this time, what fascinates me the most about this industry are the people and how they changed their dreams into realty success.
This program is brought to you by City Home Inspectors, your one-stop shop for all your home inspection needs.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Dreams to Realty Success, where we share inspiring stories of top achievers in the real estate industry. Today, we have David Pacheco. David has been a realtor for over 5 years now, and he quickly became a top producer of eXp Realty. I personally have witnessed David's passion and commitment to his clients, and he is truly one of the best. David, thank you so much for coming in, man. I know you're a busy guy. So it's awesome that you put this time aside for this my new project. So I'm really happy to have you here.
Man. Thank you for having me, thinking about me, and thank you for those kind words. I mean, yeah, that that definitely puffed up my chest a little bit there. But we've been working together for a minute, and so again, thank you for having me. I have seen your success as well, and you're doing big things here. So this is a pleasure for me as well to be a part of this, because this is exciting stuff.
Yeah, this is great, man. Yeah, this is I keep on saying it probably every episode. This is my new baby.
Yeah.
I'm loving the flow. I love how just getting these stories out. It's always been something I thought of. These realtors have great stories, and yeah, we do see the trips, and we do see the the glitz and the glam and everything that comes with being self-employed, but we don't really see the cracks in between, like the long nights and the hard days. You know what I mean? That's not something that we post when we're self-employed. We post the good, not the bad. Yeah, you know.
No, 100%. I mean, it is, especially for me, it's been such a learning curve from the beginning. I'm not sure if you even know this, but, my background before I got into real estate was I was working at a factory for 14 years. So
Wow.
No sales experience, none of that, I didn't even like working with people, and not like that. But I mean, I was, even when I worked at a factory, I was always like the team lead or assistant supervisor. I always strive to do the best in whatever I did, right? So I think I brought those skills into real estate. But most realtors, I'm gonna say, probably have some type of sales background.
Car salesman or
Yeah, something like that, banking industry, but. No, I just came off a forklift, right?
Were there any tools that you learned from that factory work? Anything that helps you with your career today?
Just kind of like what I just mentioned. That's kind of the only thing I could think of right now is that I always strive to do the best at whatever I was doing. I've always kind of always kind of had the little title of jack of all trades, because I do get into a lot of stuff. Like even when I was doing the forklift driving, I would cut hair on the side. I actually gave myself this haircut before this interview.
I need one. I'm getting there.
I would say just striving to do the being the best version of myself at whatever you're doing. So
That's crazy. I didn't know that that's what you were into before. So that's pretty interesting. And yeah, normally I do hear a lot of, I was in sales, I was doing this, and so it is interesting. So before we got on, we did have a quick conversation, and I remember that you have some Airbnb property. So I kind of wanted to go in that, kind of just wanted to know, how is that going? Because how long have you had it at first?
the Airbnb itself, it's only been about a year and a half. We started it last November, not this past November, but the November prior. Right around Thanksgiving, we started it, and me and my wife. She was actually the whole brains behind the idea. Because we were just renting it. We're renting it at the time, renting that unit to a relative, and they moved out. And she was like, "Why don't we try the Airbnb thing?" I was like, "Sure. I mean, I'm cool with it. Yeah." So she, it was her idea to get all that together. She actually came up with the concept of giving it a theme, because she did her research in regards to that. and it's just it helps you keep the place busy. When you give it a theme, it just so we kind of have like a mobster theme going on.
That's Chicago, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the name of the Airbnb is El Jefe.
Oh, nice.
It's been paying off. It's with that, just with the Airbnb part of that unit of that building, that whole mortgage gets paid. And that's something that I bring up to my clients anytime any of my clients are looking for a multi-unit property. I let them know that Airbnb is an option because it's a big business right now. And if you could get $50 a night for one of your units minimum, I mean you're bringing in something like 1,800 bucks a month. That's more than your average rent. So it's a pretty sweet deal.
Right, yeah.
I'm thinking about Airbnb the whole thing. So it's 4 units, and yeah, and one of them is an Airbnb unit.
So you have three other rentals, and then you have the one Airbnb unit. And how is that? What are you seeing? Is the Airbnb turning out to be more lucrative than the rentals itself?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I said, I'm thinking about making all 3 units Airbnbs here in the near future. I actually live in the building. This was my first. Yeah, the property that I purchased 10 years ago was a property that I purchased while I was forklifting. And that's kind of how I got into real estate. My brother-in-law sold me the property. He helped me buy it. And in the process, he's like, man, you should really consider getting into real estate. And I was like, that's not, it's not me. That's not what I like. Um, I was super comfortable until my wife and I got pregnant, and we're expecting our first kid, and that changes everything. As you have kids, so somebody to look
Hmm.
after, another mouth to feed, and all that.
And someone to inspire, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. So yeah, once he was born, I was still working at the factory, and you know how you get the first 2 weeks that they give you like off so you can hang out with your kid or whatever.
Hmm. Hmm.
um, to me, that wasn't enough. I'm like, damn, really 2 weeks? And again, new mom at home and all that. It's just kind of a nervous, you know, situation to be in
Hmm.
as new parents. You're like, you don't know what the kid wants. He's always crying. So I felt like I had to be present. And I'm like, man, this job is kind of like I just felt trapped. Like at that time, when it was just me, I didn't feel trapped. I felt comfortable. It was like whatever. But now at that point, I was like, I feel trapped. I feel like I can't go see my kid.
Yeah, because like I know those factory jobs are like 10, 12 hour shifts, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah,
Because I did it too. I worked at a couple different factories. I wasn't the forklift driver, it was more like, the palletizer or, the line guy. So I did that when I first, for a couple years after my daughter was born, because I was doing like other jobs here on the side. But after my first was born, I needed to make money, and then I went that route of the factory work for a couple years, and I did it, and I couldn't stand it, because I was like third shift.
yeah. I did the third shift for a while.
Yeah, late at night, come home, you're tired, you couldn't do nothing. So yeah, it was something that I had to stray away from for sure.
So I literally quit that factory job. From one day to the next. I was like, just I called my brother-in-law. I said, hey man, I just quit my job. You were saying something about real estate.
Nice.
And he's like, "Yeah, let's go do it." So I got signed up. I want to say within maybe like 3 to 4 months, I was licensed already. Um, but with that being said, I did have that cushion because I bought that 4 unit, right?
Right.
So the building was getting paid. The tenants were paying the building, um, and I had some extra money from it. So it did give me a bit of comfort. Um, And then, so my wife got licensed before I did. While I was at the factory, I was like, you know what? She was working at Michael Kors, selling bags at the fashion outlet. And while she was pregnant, she's like, I can't stand this or whatever. So I'm like, why don't you just quit? Tino, my brother-in-law, was telling me about real estate. I'm like, why don't you get licensed first, and we'll see what happens. So she actually got licensed first but then the baby came, so she wasn't able to do much with it at the time. She did a few deals here and there, but nothing. She couldn't really commit too much time to it. So then I'm like, if she did it, I think I could do it. So that's when I jumped into it.
Does she still hold an active license or no?
She does. She does. Yeah. And you've actually done some inspections for her recently.
Yes. Okay. Grace Rios. Okay. Yeah. No, I know exactly what you're talking about now. That's awesome. So yeah, man, we should have had her on the podcast as well. We'll do another one in the future. We'll do another. I like to do power couples. So I have a couple of couples that that are realtors together. I like those. Those are always fun episodes. So next time we'll get you guys in the next one, both of you.
For sure, for sure. And with that being said, it's been a lot of fun with her because she's recently just getting back into it. So it's been a lot of fun here trying to figure stuff out at the office and how to work together. And we're starting to create our own little team here and there. So with this type of business, it's always been and it always will be a learning curve. There's always stuff to learn, and that's kind of one of the things that inspired me to get into it because again going back to the factory job, I felt like there was a ceiling, and I hit the ceiling. I wasn't going anywhere until the next guy in line got either retired or moved on.
Or made a huge mistake on a forklift. Yeah.
Exactly, and then maybe I could get a bump up and then get a raise, and
What could that take? 15 to 20 years? You know?
like I recently saw a meme where somebody posted they got like a 3% raise, but then inflation is like 5 point something percent. It's like, yeah, that's nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, you see that a lot. So yeah, it's like, and I know that, self-employment, some people like that. They like the 9 to 5, they like the security, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know what I mean? If that's more your style for sure, but real estate is there is freedom, but it's freedom with a cost
Of course. Oh no, it's definitely been a struggle.
because there is still a lot of long nights.
Like I remember my first year, I really didn't do much because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So there was not much activity until I started noticing like there's no money coming in. So like, what am I doing here? So there's definitely those times where I was thinking, damn, maybe I should go back to working at the forklift. That's some secure money there. So but at the end of the day, that was kind of always in the back of my head too. Like in the beginning, like I just got to keep trying. If I ever do hit rock bottom, I could always go to a warehouse and anything like that.
Well, just Airbnb your apartment and sleep in the backyard, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, at that time, Airbnb wasn't that popping like that.
Right. Yeah, so yeah, speaking about back to Airbnb, do you want to kind of talk about some of the pros and cons of having an Airbnb?
Sure, sure. Yeah. Again, my wife really, she's the one that kind of handles most of that because again, it was her baby, right? So, but with I'm gonna say that the pros are obviously the money because I mean, if it stays busy, and again, I think giving it a theme helps it stay busy. Helps it stay busy. So, if it stays busy, I mean, we're making double of what we would have made if it was just renting, you know. So again, just with the Airbnb, that pays off the whole mortgage, and then the rest, it's profit. So there's definitely money to be made with the Airbnb.
Yeah, I've seen your Airbnb. I think I was dropping off like a coquito or something for appreciation. Yeah, and then we kind of walked through it, and I was like, oh yeah, man. Then it's right. It's like Jefferson Park, correct?
I want to say just with purchasing a multi-unit in general, you want to think location. That's what's going to give you the higher rents and things like that. So, um, yeah, no, that's definitely helped. And it helps that there's a Starbucks across the street now. So, that came in just a few years ago in the neighborhood. So that, you know, but yeah, as far as cons go, it does become a bit of a job. You have to stay on top of it. But I think it's worth the time that it does consume. And right now it's a learning curve. We only had it up for about a year and a half, so we're just getting better with time. And
Eventually, we'll make the other units Airbnb as well because there's some good money to be made in that industry.
Awesome. Great. All right, cool. And then my next question would be, so what is the thing you love most about real estate?
The thing that I love most about real estate is the flexibility. The fact that I get to create my own schedule. That's actually, going back to when we had our first kid. That was the whole idea behind it. Like I need to create my own schedule. I didn't like the idea at that point. I don't like the idea of somebody telling me when I could go see my kid, when I can't, when I should take vacation, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, um, that was the most important part then, and it still is now. I still pick up my kids from school. I make time to do that. We've had an option where maybe we thought about hiring somebody to do that for us, but I paused for a second. I'm like, that's taken away from the whole thing. The whole reason why I got into this.
The whole point, yeah.
Because sometimes you do get caught up in the whole, grind of it, right? Because you're your own boss. So you have to create your own money. So at times you do get caught up in the whole like you almost make it a job without thinking about it.
All right.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that I'm gonna say that I love about it is just being able to create my own schedule and spend time with the family when I have to and when I want to.
So let's say me and you, we build a time machine, right? And we're going to go back 5 years, and David Pacheco just got his license. Freshly licensed, just got out of the H&R Block, you know?
Right. I did do it at the H&R Block in Franklin Park.
Yep. There you go. See, yep, you're in Franklin Park. You see him walk out. He just got approved. Just passed his classes. What are some of the things you'd want to tell him?
You know what? I've never been one for like regret. Uh, so I feel like everyone has their own journey, and I'm cool with my journey. Everything happens for a reason. Yeah, so there's not. I mean, yeah, there's not much that I would say to myself. Everything's been a learning experience, and it'll continue to be a learning experience.
Probably just like buy crypto now.
Right, exactly, right. Yeah. Right, for sure. But yeah, as far as like real estate wise, it's been a learning experience and it'll continue to be that. So I'm proud of where I'm at now and where I'm going, and just I'll just tell myself keep pushing and keep going and never give up, and that's kind of the message every day.
All right. So, besides real estate, what are some of the things that you're most passionate about?
I would say cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to cook, and that I was I'm more so of a like I like to cook. Well, in the beginning, I started learning to cook off the grill and things like that. Um, my brother-in-law is huge with cooking on the grill, and so we would have our little cook-offs and things like that. But I definitely like to cook in the kitchen too. I moved out of my house at an early age, so I would call my mom and say, "Hey, how do you make that rice?" So I learned how to make rice over the phone, and it's always been something that I am passionate about. Making once you have the finished product and you're like, "Oh man, I made that!" Like that, yeah, that's a good feeling. Then especially when you could get that same reaction out of somebody else.
So, any thoughts of having a Pacheco's grill in the future?
Yeah, no, big time. Yeah, I think when I quote unquote retire, it'll be into something like that, like you know, a food truck or a restaurant.
Hey, you could do an Airbnb bed and breakfast.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, that's basically all the questions I had for you today. This is a good one. I'm really excited for this one to come out. Me and you have been cool for a long time now. And yeah, that's why I really wanted to get you in right away. I was like, yeah, David's gonna be awesome for this. Like, it was a no brainer.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that too, man. Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. I'm excited for you. Yeah.
And this is something that I don't know.
people can tell, but I'm like super passionate about this. I'm just like, it's just something that I really want to just have it be great.
Like I mentioned, I see that you've been putting in the work to, get it right, and you're doing a great job. So this is exciting stuff, and I'm glad and honored to be, in the beginning of it. So
Awesome. Well, yeah, thanks so much for your time, David. I really do appreciate it. So, for the people that are listening, what is the best ways for them to get in contact with you if they want to reach out in regards to real estate or any other questions they have?
yeah, I mean, you could just literally Google my name, David Pacheco, real estate agent. All the links are there. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. So just really Google me. You could see it. All the information is there. And for those who haven't left a review, you can go ahead and do that.
For sure. Yeah. So, yeah, and I will also have David's business card at the end of the podcast. It'll kind of show up at the end, so we'll give your information out there, and your links will be in the description below. So, again, David, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. Have a good weekend, buddy.
You too, brother. Appreciate you.